What's up, everybody? Welcome to BlackMinds. Mr. Sparks here. I got Jay Moore with me. Mr. Anderson, as always. Hope everybody's having a beautiful Saturn's day. Hope everybody's vibrating at a good frequency. Hope everybody's energy's positive. And we really hope everybody is giving and receiving the love that we all deserve. From there, Jay Moore, anything you want to say to the people?
As always, path to everybody. Make sure you focusing on your goal in an ordered way. Complete it. Keep moving forward. Path to everybody.
Pat. Mr. Anderson, anything you want to say to the people?
Welcome to the show, man.
Welcome to the show. Mr. Black Sheep in the building. All right. From there, man, I guess we'll just get right to it, man. Start with the child trafficking arrests, child abuse cases for the week. All right, I got one here. This is on MSN.com. I think I did a policeman last week. This is another policeman.
Wow.
Okay, police federal agents swarm Pasco complex to arrest child sex trafficking suspect. Pasco man indicted by federal grand jury last week on 11 criminal counts, including sex trafficking of children, was arrested Tuesday. Charges against Michael Atkinson, 34, also include production and attempted production of child pornography, online enticement of a minor, and forced labor. Specifics on the charges were not made public on Tuesday. They carry a minimum sentence of a lifetime in prison, according to the Eastern Washington District U.S. Attorney's Office. Atkinson, who lived in a small apartment building at 736 Elm Ave in Pasco and owned units there, was booked into the Benton County Jail on around 10 a.m. on Tuesday. Tuesday morning, a warrant was served at the building, and officers with the Benton County Sheriff's Office, Homeland Security investigators, and members of the Southeast Regional Internet Crimes Against Children's Task Force was at the property. Excuse me. A police dog also was present. More information on the allegations is to be released when Atkinson appears in federal court Thursday. So he'll be going to court this Thursday here. Atkinson was arrested by the ICAC task force, which includes Homeland Security investigators, the Richland and Kennewick Police Departments, and the Benton County Sheriff's Office. Additional help was provided by Pasco Police Department, the U.S. Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, and the Drug Enforcement Administration. This case is being prosecuted by Assistant U.S. Attorney Laurel Holland and Stephanie Van Martin. Guys, I think I had a police officer last week as well.
Yeah, you did, man, and like you said, that's telling, in a lot of situations that, our law enforcement, people are human. Yes, they do. We all make mistakes. Nobody's, just because of your job title, means you're immune from, doing crazy things that you are arresting people for, but it's just showing and telling, that the system is going crazy as well as people, man, because, protect and serve, come save me, no, I can't even trust you to be off of work and just live your life with what you're doing. And who to say, that officer and his work hours weren't still, trying to pursue and, things of that nature. So.
Yeah, a lot of people get the badge for that reason. But yeah, you can find that article on MSN.com. It's a little bit more you can read about it. And yeah, man, it's just sad. Sad. And guys, this show is for entertainment purposes only, and there may be a trigger warning or two, or maybe a couple, depending on the stories we have, guys. Who's gonna go next here?
I'll take off.
Okay.
This is from the United States Attorney's Office, District of Oregon.
Okay.
This would be Gladstone, Oregon. A Gladstone man sentenced to 50 years in federal prison for abducting and sexually abusing a Canadian child. This story is Gladstone, Oregon man was sentenced to 50 years in federal prison today, and that was on Tuesday, April 8th. He was sentenced to 50 years in federal prison for abducting and sexually abusing a Canadian child he met through a music creation social media platform. I don't even have no clue, and they don't go into, description on what that platform is, but keeping it moving for a second.
There's a few of them, so yeah.
Noah Madrano, 43 years old, was sentenced to 600 months in federal prison, a fine of $5,000, and a lifetime term of supervised release. The sum of restitution he must pay to the victim will be determined at a later date. According to the court documents, Madrano met a child online whom he sexually exploited for more than a year. In May 2022, he traveled to Canada to meet the child in person, took the child to a hotel room, sexually abused the victim, and recorded his abuse. A few weeks later, on June 24th, 2022, Madrano returned to Canada, where he abducted the child from outside of school and took the victim to another hotel. At the hotel, Madrano sexually abused the child for several days and recorded videos of his abuse. On July 1st, 2022, Madrano hid the child in the trunk of his vehicle and drove back to the United States. Once in Oregon, Madrano brought the victim to a hotel room where he continued to sexually abuse the child. In the early morning of July 2nd, 2022, FBI special agents and Oregon City police officers entered Madrano's hotel room and found him inside with the victim. Madrano was arrested and the child was taken into protective custody, reunited with her parents, and returned to Canada. On September 21st, 2022, a federal grand jury in Portland returned a 6-count indictment charging Madrano with sexually exploiting a child, traveling with intent to engage in illicit sexual conduct, transporting a child with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity, and possessing child pornography.
Kidnap.
Right, yes. On January 13th, 2025, Madrano pled guilty to the sexually exploiting a child and transporting a child with intent to engage in criminal sexual activity. This case was investigated by the FBI Portland's Child Exploitation Task Force alongside the assistance of the Oregon City Police Department, the Gladstone Police Department, etc., with a couple others. They do not go into description. They do not give the name and or age of the child, in case anyone is curious.
Now the age they can give, but they're not going to give the name.
So they didn't give any of that in case anyone's wondering. But yes, again, this is coming from the United States Attorney's Office, District of Oregon.
Yeah, man. A lot going on with that one, man. A lot. You done went to another country.
Yeah.
Kidnapped a baby. You know, they didn't use those exact words. And yeah, man, just brought them to America and yeah, bro.
So what I'm feeling is, and this is just my own speculation. We don't really speculate too much on these topics, but the only speculation that I have, this child had to be of teenage years.
Yeah.
Because I'm seeing repeated that the connection of him going to get this child, hiding, concealing this child, and able to continue contact with this child to get the child again.
Yep.
Especially when they said went to pick the child up from school, that sounded like a high schooler cutting out of class. Not that that's excusable or justified in no manner, but I'm thinking it had to have been at least 13 to maybe 16.
Yeah.
Just from what the story
says. Yeah. All right, Mr. Anderson, anything you got over there you want to share with the people?
Yeah, I got a story here from CBS News. Kentucky man and 2 Pennsylvania men have been charged with trafficking of a 13-year-old girl in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Bucks County District Attorney Jennifer Shorn and Zachary Lee McCauley from Louisville, Kentucky, stated that the teen was trafficked in Bucks County after the man met her on Snapchat.
Yep.
See, here we go again.
Because
Online,
your
yes.
story
Mm-hmm.
was social media.
Yep. To a degree,
This story here that I did about the cop, he was posing as a teenager.
on social media.
Yep.
Yeah.
Social media.
That's
Please
what this
watch
guy
our
was
babies.
doing.
Watch
Zachary Lee McCauley. Court documents detailed how the 29-year-old used Snapchat to lure and groom the girl, and he pretended to be a 17-year-old boy named Jake.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
This case exemplifies how long the reach is of a predator using these social media platforms. I can assure you that this investigation is still very much active, and if there are any additional victims, we'll make sure that this individual is prosecuted for those crimes as well. He used grooming tactics to lower her inhibition, and then those tactics involved into threatening to inflict harm upon her mother if she did not comply with his demands. Shorn said McCauley also instructed the girl to make a Grindr dating app profile, which is where 67-year-old John Van Ingen of Buckingham Township, Bucks County, and 42-year-old Randy Quinn of Coopersburg, Lehigh County contacted her. And then the investigators claimed that the two men contacted the girl through the dating app and both assaulted her multiple times at the Main Street Inn by Doylestown. Investigators say at least one of those incidents was recorded through a Snapchat video call.
Wow.
Let's see. There was actually a third man who also met with this child, and when he met her in person, it was immediately apparent that she was a child and that he did not engage in the encounter that he was intended to engage in. Okay, so he had some sense.
Yep. Yep.
Right. Court documents reveal the girl's mother went to the police in early October with her daughter's phone, iPad, and MacBook after she walked in on her daughter taking a list of videos and images of herself. Then a few months later in February, the mother reached out again to the district attorney's office after seeing a press conference related to a predator case. Shorn says she praised the mother in this case because her instincts were correct. Shorn encouraged other parents to continue an open dialogue with their children about online dangers and to look at their devices.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Definitely.
We must agree.
Let's see. Shorn said the two local defendants posted bail and they're out on release. And McCauley is currently in custody in Kentucky and awaiting extradition back to Pennsylvania.
One of my main concerns with the justice system is how certain crimes are petitioned to be a no bond, no bail situation, and numerous times.
Next. So, we need to just, man, these guys shouldn't get, like Jay Moore said, they shouldn't get no
They should
bail.
be out on bail. Either one of them.
Yeah. And with these apps and stuff like that, bro, we have to figure out some way to
They got apps where you can monitor the phone, you can the key loggers, you can see what they're going into.
so what we got to do is stop being lazy parents.
Yeah.
We have to really
Yeah.
check into what our kids are looking at.
Yeah.
I would advise you not letting your kids just have tablets and stuff all on their own in their rooms by themselves, and
Keeping them content, because they're not bothering you. Trust me, after having kids and being around kids and raising kids, if that kid is quiet in the room and content, you might want to go check.
yeah.
Because what are they doing? If they're not asleep, be honestly being a parent. If they quiet, then what's going on?
Yeah.
The mothers I was with, they was on it, man. Like I said, they had them programs where they had the child's location at all times. They could see what was on the screen and all of that stuff. So
Yeah,
ain't no excuse.
yeah, man, I got a little girl and, I got little watches and stuff like that to track her and stuff.
Exactly.
All right, Jay Moore, you wanted to talk a little bit about DOGE. I see you had something here.
Yeah, I did. It was really about how the hell do they title that?
Reallocation?
The reallocation of the reimbursement money. Now the reason why I want to bring this up is because I'm sure a lot of people we're curious, with the talk about them giving us money back. So where's the money? They're talking about it. So of course, me and my nose but I need to find out what does it really, what's the standard? How do they break it down? So with that, of course, it's all of the stuff that DOGE was finding with all of the money, and they're gonna, it's why it's called reallocate. The option first was on the ballot for either we pay off our national debt with whatever money that they in totality retrieved, or reallocate and reimburse back to taxpaying American citizens. So currently they're at 150 billion with what they're saying would be the money that they would be able to break down and give back or pay off the debt with. Their goal is 2 trillion. So they're looking at if they can make it to this, I think it's 2.3 or whatever, the off point is for the trillion, but it's definitely 2 trillion. That's where we would be able to be reimbursed back, upwards to $5,000
or more.
And, of course, they were already passing bills to try to figure out what was going to be the final decision with the money regardless. A lot of people said pay off the debt. A lot of people said reimburse. So I guess they pushed it for reimburse to people.
Yeah.
And they are going to still make their aim to handle the national debt separately out of this.
Yeah, because those, they got their contract through sometime in 2026, so they got plenty of time to find some more funds.
Yeah, they definitely do. And, what is it? It's April 12th. It's my stepfather's birthday. So, so yeah, it was interesting, of course. It's money grab, everybody been talking about where the money going.
I think Trump put a tweet up with a poll.
Okay, go ahead.
Asking, the taxpayers and American people, what DOGE should do with the money, reallocate it to the people or pay towards the national debt, because it's not gonna end the national debt, but it'll definitely knock it down some.
Barker may know better than both of us what the current national debt is.
Yeah,
I don't know the total, but
it'll put a little.
It's got to be in the trillions.
Yeah. I think it's last I heard a couple years ago.
457
I
trillion.
can't call
I'm not sure.
I know it's upwards. It's up in the trillions. But whatever.
But yeah, I feel that like Jay Moore said, DOGE is actually finding funds. I've seen a lot of meetings and hearings where they're talking about the funds that's being found by DOGE, and a lot of the Democratic
people,
Congress members, they're booing. And it's like, I thought you guys were taxpayers too and would want some of this money back, but
if you
it's a lot of their secret accounts being.
I was going to say, if you're getting already the overhead cut of it, and I'm sure some Republicans that got their hand in that too, so I ain't banging on Republicans or Democrats, but like Sparks was bringing up, if you booing an option to pay a national debt or give a kickback to Americans that they done already been over snatched from, I'm sorry, but when I get my paycheck, how about this? If my paycheck say I gross $2,500, I'm gonna get back 12. If it say I get $4,600, I'm gonna get back 2. If it say 62, I'm getting 40 something. So that's how I get hit on my taxes. Just giving y'all an example of my money, but that's ridiculous. Yeah, you can give me a kickback, please and thank you, because out of the taxes that I pay throughout the year, the money that gets taken from me, that's in the tens of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, we need people to buy these cards, these gold cards.
Well,
we need Trump to stop pissing people off so they will actually buy the cards.
Right.
I think he even pissed JD off, because JD felt like, a move Trump was making wasn't the right move for the country, So, anything you want to say about the those reallocation fund, Barker, or the the reimbursement?
I believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
Those things you can do to eliminate your taxes, so that ain't even I ain't even know.
I think what paying
I
attention.
just really want to know what the real what the real play of it is.
Yeah.
And that's why bringing it to the people. That's the real play of it, and it has to go by this guideline. They could change it around and say they paid it toward the national debt, the money could disappear, or they paid it now. So just giving y'all the real insight of the real play. So if it don't go this way, that's the A, B, and C of how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
We got the national debt around 30 to 36 trillion. So
30. So
they're
all
not
right.
gonna be able to knock that out. They might as well get the money to the people.
That's a piss to the
Bottom
fire.
Mhm. We have to figure out a way
Unless they
to
extend DOGE's contract or something.
yeah, possible. But we know Elon don't have too much longer to do the job he's doing,
Right.
unless he wants to give up all his business.
Right. Right. So that's
not gonna happen.
While we're on DOGE, man,
Yeah.
let's talk about Elon a little bit more. Then, did you guys hear that he met with the CIA director?
Yeah, that was a couple of weeks ago. He went down there.
And we're still pushing that we're gonna come up in here and check your inner personnels.
Yeah, but they're not gonna be able to have access to everything.
Yeah, and by him going when he did and nothing happening yet, it's time for stuff to get redacted, shredded.
Of course.
They can get rid of a lot of stuff. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I like that word sometimes.
And also, did you guys hear about him looking into the Congress members, like Elon looking into like Pelosi and Schumer and them, trying to figure out how their net worth is
so much dang on money.
$20 million on a $200,000 salary.
Man, let me tell you something.
Yeah,
they
saving.
I've asked this question. I didn't mean to cut you off.
We're good.
But when people campaign, I've asked you esteemed gentlemen, before that question. When people campaign and they get elected and this, that, and the third, it's a lot of funds that go towards campaigns.
Yeah.
Yes, you got people that need to be paid. I get it. But what happens to the collection of the money that's not used, that was overpaid, or does it go into a committee file? Does it go into these people money? And as well, it's come out about how they get all of their inside trading, their inside trading,
I think it depends on the person, Jack.
Hey man, well you don't get connections unless you do certain things, and if you're doing certain things and getting them connections.
Example. Kamala.
Okay.
During her campaign, I believe we went over.
Mm-hmm.
They raised like
first night. How about that?
They raised like a total of like close to $3 billion.
Yeah, but isn't this crazy? Because the first night, I remember, what was it, 80-something million? Like the first night that it opened for her to be accepting for her campaign.
So we did also find out she was paying artists, major people to interview her.
6-7 figures.
Yes. Paying for sets to be built in hotels. Yeah. I don't think the people we're dealing with now care about that type of stuff. I mean, the money's too big. We've already had this conversation, man. Mm-hmm. Like you saying with them finding, I thought it was 115 billion, but it may be 150.
It's up there 150 now. That was the outstanding.
I don't see Elon and Trump just like, oh, we found all this money and it disappeared.
Right.
I mean, 150 million, honestly, to the money that billion, my fault. Okay. 150 billion compared still to what Elon has. The man has 450 billion himself with going businesses.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yes. It ain't like he just got 450 and then he ain't doing it. He has going businesses. Mm-hmm. I ain't gonna use the word growing. Going.
Yes. I liked how you did that.
Going businesses.
Yes, sir.
So, 150 is pissant to him. He throwing that shit away on SpaceX anyway.
I don't see him wanting to rob the American people and taking this job.
Hey.
And risking so much to rob the American people, and you worth more than America.
Hey, and the way his father got money in the beginning, I don't see that stopping. So I don't see their money stopping.
I don't, bro. I just don't see it. I believe both of them got Asperger's too. Trump and Elon. So
That's no telling.
they just think differently. You know, they think differently, bro.
I think spending money on campaigns is wasteful anyway.
It is.
That money
man.
should be going to the dead or something else. All
You
these
should be able to
people
drive
donate to
your
get their-
own damn car, use your own damn money. I'm sorry, bro, but I mean that's how they had to do it back in the day. I mean,
Yeah.
people gave to the, you know, to the campaign organization or whatever. People was really
All
on the
that
ground,
money.
bro.
All that money that
For a showcase, I told you that damn Sambo shit, man.
Yeah. With the Congress people, you know, they got to report they whatever stock moves they make. But the loophole is they kids and they wives and they children and all cousins. They don't got to report that.
yeah, it's just
That's
funny
how
how
they do it.
it's just funny how they know exactly when to sell stuff.
Yeah.
Exactly when
Hey
to buy
man,
stuff.
Shaquille O'Neal said it the best. Shaquille O'Neal said it the best. You hire somebody in your family you know and give them the right kind of job. That way you can push the money through them and this, that, and the third. He said it out
That's how
loud.
they do
They
it.
can't do nothing about it.
Okay, guys. Anything else on that? Well, Mr. Anderson, let's go on to the Allies pledging $20 billion to Ukraine. Let's go on to that, Mr. Anderson.
Yeah, I read about that in what's this Politico.
Okay.
I'm like, shit, where was these cats at when we was sending 300, 400 billion? Like, why they wouldn't put money in there?
Yeah, because you already know me, I was upset about it. I'm like, so who was they clique that just came up with all this bread, bro? Like, you know.
Germans and a
There's
whole bunch of people
Brussels,
here.
British,
Those allies.
Yeah. Germany, you know, I was really tripping off of that. 'Cause
Yeah.
I had to look into where did your money come from. But then again, I guess it's just gonna be the stupidity of the continuation of the World War because
That's exactly.
don't start funding somebody to fight, bro. I don't care what nobody says. All right. If I give my dude some brass knuckles and I know he finna go into a fight and that dude end up dead or with a broke jaw, who fault really is it?
Right.
Yeah, he's a knockout artist anyway, but I gave him the brass knuckles. Not only did he knock the dude out, he done killed the nigga because he done crushed this. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So it's yeah, man.
That's what the dude said from Germany, the defense minister. He said peace in Ukraine is out of reach in the immediate
That's
future.
exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Because Russia needs to understand that Ukraine is able to go on fighting, and we will continue supporting.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing.
And their thing is, you know, Putin said he wants peace, but at the same time, how is he being peaceful? What is he doing that with? He's just saying he wants peace, yeah, but ultimately, yeah, he wants peace after he get what he wants.
Man, the whole thing is we talking about Putin, but like a couple weeks ago, Zelensky flat out said, like, Putin gonna die.
Right.
And I think Trump called him, like, bro.
Man, you tripping,
He
bro.
flat out said it, like, Putin's gonna die. We're gonna kill Putin. And it's like, bro, that's not how the peace treaties are gonna work.
Now
like,
watch this. Now watch me work. Now watch me work. I'm happy that Mr. Anderson brought this up, because when J.D. Vance and Trump was in this man's face, and they had what I call the chump session. I don't care how nobody said it. I ain't finna be in the room with you.
TV, yeah.
You know, but they told him, if it ain't for us, you wouldn't be in this war. Now they was trying to work that mineral deal, but fast forward, he cut the dude off like he said. So he had to ally with somebody, but you allying with somebody to continue to fight.
Yep.
If somebody take away your guns, call peace, bro.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
You're going to come up off of it anyway. You're not powerful enough. From what I've paid attention to military and governmental factions, if you are not more powerful than the other one, you're going to have to, what's the word? Whatever. I ain't going to use that word because I don't want to say.
Substantiate?
Acquiesce.
Basically to it.
I don't even know.
Give up. I want to give y'all a good
Oh,
one.
yes.
You gotta
That's
get
it.
in.
Okay.
That's
You
it.
know,
I
just
knew
work
what you
your
was going
hand as
for.
best as you can to
I
not
heard him
get
say
robbed
seven.
and raped. But I mean, it's.
But when we
But he
dealing
want to
with,
keep fighting, man.
we dealing with, I mean, this dude, he wants to put on army gear, ain't stepped out there. Like
Right.
Zelensky, this
He's
type of
still
dude,
an
like, bro,
actor,
the
bro.
dude he dressed up as a woman, as
Yeah,
an
he's an
actor,
actor.
multiple times like that.
Mm-hmm.
He's like Medea of Ukraine. Like, come on, guy. Anything else you want to
People dying though. You know, this ain't. You know,
And
they
it's
don't
sad.
come back from this.
It's
So.
sad because people, like Jay Moore said, they're dying for greed.
That's it.
It's greed.
That's it.
Like, bro, you want to be in this powerful position. You ain't no powerful person,
You
man.
ain't even got money for the war. How you
That's
got
what
money to defend the materials, bro? Make a deal. Stop killing people.
Tupac said,
Like
"You
you
got
said.
money for wars, we can't feed the poor." Bro,
That's
you
it.
ain't even got money for wars.
They ain't got
'cause
the
you
money for
asking
that.
for everything.
Yep.
I need defense weaponry. I need a clique
Like,
of
come
people.
on,
I need
bro.
money, but moving along, man.
Because now you got to share it with the UK and all of them.
All the
Like,
minerals.
you
is
could have had a
getting-
bigger piece. You
Yeah.
just trying to look good for the cameras. That's all you doing.
That's it. Okay, guys. Anything else on that topic?
No,
We can
no,
move
no.
on. Jay Moore, let's go to this law for the firearms and the felon.
Oh yeah. I wanted to bring this up. Of course, this has been a thing for like the last few years. You know, with them trying to pass laws for felons to be given the opportunity to rightfully, legally own firearms again. Even here in Ohio, they've passed a few laws, or were, you know, in the making of passing some laws. But now, you know, this is coming from the, you know, the House, you know, Republicans are pushing, you know, of course, this is under Trump's term, you know, take it how you like it, whatever. But it's under Trump's term, and they really pushing for this to be a nationwide concealed carry.
Instead of each state.
As far as the biggest thing is, if you authorize to have a pistol in Ohio, you should be authorized in any state that authorized for you to have legal firearms.
That makes sense.
But at the same time, let me go back. They're calling this, the bill is going to be known as the Constitutional Concealed Carry Reciprocity Act, which basically means it reciprocates. If I'm in Ohio and I want to go to New York, I don't need a New York license for my gun.
That makes
But
sense.
as well, alongside with this, they're pushing the ability for felons to get their rights back nationwide, along with how some of the states have been doing. Nonviolent offenders that, you know, have had, you know, I knocked the dude out and I had a pistol on me, or I got pulled over drunk, I had a pistol on me, or I got caught with some drugs on me. You know,
I had to laugh. He
Yeah,
said I
you
knocked
know.
the nigga out. Non-violent.
it is nonviolent. I ain't shoot him. Just for people, because you know, people gonna first thing they gonna say, so what level of violence do you mean? So I had to start with it.
Yeah, I got
You
you.
can drop somebody,
That's
but
funny.
you don't shoot them. But
Right.
you know, so as long as you haven't done anything, you know, harmful or threatening with the firearm, and you've caught cases, you know, and have gotten limitations, along with this Reciprocity Act, you know, they're trying to put that in, as well as if you are legal to own, you can cross states with it, and as well, they're pushing for previous felons in the same act that have had, you know, some charges previously and were limited to not owning firearms. They're trying to push it for if it wasn't a violent crime, or et cetera, et cetera. It's a couple more limitations, but they're trying to push that in as well. And if we know anything, the black man is the most one in the prison. So
Yeah,
that's just
I'm glad
another
you
shot
brought that up.
for the
I'm glad he brought that up. Also, man, I feel felons should be able to vote. You have immigrants coming over here and giving rights that, you know, a lot of non-violent felons and stuff like that, they should have rights to things, bro. We give rights to too many immigrants, bro, that American people who has actually worked, paid taxes, and been here, born here, lived their whole
We've
life.
given more rights to people who we made up a position and a name for.
Yep.
Than born and raised.
Yeah. So, I believe it's a start, you know, with
It
it.
is.
But we definitely should work towards giving felons the right to vote, depending on what they're charged
Right.
with,
And that's why I brought this up, because, it's still, a standard and a regulation to it.
Mhm.
It ain't like somebody went and robbed a bank with a gun and not able to get gun rights. No, bro. You did something violent with a gun. Like, no, that's not happening. Even though he didn't shoot nobody, you're threatening with the weapon.
Yep.
So you know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
limitations. But again, man, if somebody, got pulled over on some junk and they had, something with them and, the cops smell something, now they ain't, they can't be able to protect their home and their family because they got a routine pullover and they, had a little gas in the car.
Mhm.
So they're, trying to, just another insider, more and more things to take restrictions off of things that a lot of people probably have
You want to
missed.
add something to that, Parker, while
Yeah.
we're on it?
They got a rule now where you can petition the Attorney General to restore gun rights if you're a felon. So
Yeah, and that's with the violent crime as well.
yeah, so you can go that route even if they don't pass the. It's up to them to approve it or not.
Yeah,
Even if
yeah.
they don't pass the law, but
ATF and task force gonna give y'all the ringer. I'm telling y'all from personal experience. So
you can have a gun in your home. You don't have
Yeah.
to register
Yeah,
that.
you don't have.
You just
you
can't
don't
bring
have
it with you.
concealed carry.
And the thing is, in the Constitution, it gives you the right to bear arms. And a legal dictionary, arms is anything you can use to defend yourself.
Exactly.
Like you was talking about earlier, brass knuckles, that can be
Uh-huh.
considered arms.
Yes.
Mhm.
But the problem is that you register your gun as a firearm, and the Constitution don't cover firearms.
Firearm.
So they can give it to you, take it away, all you want to.
Mhm.
What I would do is buy a gun and sell it to my trust as an arm. That's what I would do.
See, Barker gonna drop them gems, y'all.
Of course.
Okay, well,
The government is here to trick you, bro, and you got to figure out what the trick is.
Yeah, I mean, most people have realized that people have been getting tricked from the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Ever since other countries and other ethnicities went to different areas, they tricked people out of their territory.
I got a trick story for you. Lalu thought he was down there. Anu thought he had him, and he jumped up. That was the first trick in the book. He knocked him out and jumped on him. Look at manhood. Look at that.
Yeah, he talking about
the
the
Anunnaki,
Anunnaki.
man.
So.
Lalu and Anu, that was a trick move. Anyway, moving
Yeah. Okay, man. Anything else you wanted to add on that, Barker? That you brought that up? That you were done with that with the firearms?
Don't register a gun as a firearm, because then you don't have no control over it. Rely on the Constitution, always.
Oh, Mr. Anderson, you wanted to talk about cheap Easter eggs?
Yeah, bro. You know how much the eggs cost, man. They so expensive now, man. People dying marshmallows and potatoes, bro. Tiny red potatoes, nigga. They dunking them in the dye, bro. I'm telling you.
God damn, I ain't know that.
Yeah, man. That shit expensive, bro. We gotta color Easter eggs for the kids, man.
That is bad.
And you go out, you got to spend like $20 to get like 10 eggs, man.
Yeah.
So they coming up with alternatives.
That is serious.
See, my alternative
marshmallows.
I would have had an Easter egg hunt with real eggs. You find that egg, that's your dinner.
Fry it up.
You found your dinner.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, that's crazy,
Yeah, the
bro.
parents is getting creative, bro.
I didn't see the Easter egg hack that
No.
Anderson is speaking of.
That's a good one.
Potatoes,
Man, that is funny. They might be using the little yellow
Man,
potato.
you know what? That was a good one over there, man.
But you can buy colored potatoes already, so.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, guys. Well, yeah, that was a quick one.
Oh,
We'll move on then, man. Let's just get right to the ninja news.
Man, legend, what the?
To the ninja news. No, actually, let's go over this CERN thing real quick.
Uh-oh.
Did you guys hear about the new collider?
They want to build a huge one, bro.
So,
Yeah, he said a huge. It's gonna be 4 times bigger than the what is it? The Hadron Collider, the Large Hadron Collider.
Mm-hmm.
The new one's gonna be called the Future Circular Collider, nicknamed FCC.
I think these motherfuckers trying to make the Enterprise.
No. I think they're trying to. They either trying to tear.
Put a rip.
They're trying
in
to
the
tear the time space.
continuum.
Yeah. They're trying to bring somebody here
Like they trying
from
to rip
another
it.
dimension.
I don't know who they trying to bring, bro. Don't you know we can't deal with nothing that you're gonna be able to bring that'll take that much to get here.
Yeah. Why?
Or they're trying to continue to study what ripple effects will have.
We still can't defeat animals without weapons, bro.
We know that collider does something. Though.
Mhm.
We know that once they start using this large hadron collider, we had the Mandela effect just appear.
Yeah.
We had the Mandela effect appear. Stuff that we know when we were babies.
Exactly.
It's not the same.
Here we go. Here we go. What's it? Resonance frequency.
Yeah, that could be it.
Do you hear me?
Yep.
You change the frequency slightly.
Oh my God, man! The
vibrating
earth, plants, people have their own.
It'll change a letter.
Yeah.
It'll change a color.
Bro, you can vibrate one particle, 8 particles at one
And make
frequency
it
at a
form
different
something
frequency. You can
else.
do 18 different things.
And you can make it form something else.
That's
like,
crazy.
So I think they're trying to like really be God to the
Yeah,
fullest.
yeah.
They're playing God to
That's
the
all
fullest.
they do here, man.
they're
It's
not
all
in-
Satanism here.
They're not in full control of this.
Well, you know that's in what, Switzerland? Where is CERN?
I think so.
Switzerland.
What's the famous spot where it's at? Though?
Because they got Shiva out there.
On the Swiss-French border.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But my man, listen. You can't, man. Again, I'm gonna say this one more time. We can't fight animals with our weapons.
Correct.
Okay? And we think we superior than animals when we can't beat them.
I'm
A chimpanzee will come in here and kick all 3 of our ass at the same time.
Well, I'm worried about black holes.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm worried about
Right.
memories being wiped.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
I'm worried about world resets.
Mm-hmm.
While we having resets happen right in front
Right in
of us,
my face, man.
we could have planetary resets if they get the right size collider.
I love that lady. She said she was at the mall and she saw herself like in the past with her kids or something while she was at the mall.
Watch this. How about this? The Flintstones and the Jetsons was at the same damn time. And I ain't talking about because it was on
I've heard
cartoons.
that theory.
Yeah.
I heard that theory.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody went up to space and the other one stayed on ground, bro. Same fucking time frame.
Well, yeah, man, this new collider is gonna be 4 times more powerful. It is 56.5 miles deep.
Yep.
Wow. You got to be that far down to operate something. You don't need to be doing that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's gonna take them to 2070 to
56
finish
miles.
it.
How
And
long
then
is
it's supposed
it
to
going to
cost-
take for you to get all the way down there and open up all of the areas to do
got
this
the price?
business?
Yeah, it's supposed to cost at least 30 billion.
Yep.
Where do these
$30
people
billion.
get these money for these like you just said?
Yes.
Where do they get the money for these projects? But they need us to pay for living inside. Y'all got enough money then if you got enough for these stupid things.
Man, you got to develop this stuff, process, manufacture the stuff before you can even give it to the people to put it together. And you still got, man, that excavation alone.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Y'all heard what I said. I said
That's like
56.
20 straight years of excavation.
Yeah. That's
I've
why it's
been
gonna
on-
take so long.
No, it
I've
ain't.
been on.
They have shit that we don't know
yeah,
about.
Right.
I don't
Right.
know
That's
about-
just what they tell us.
They got shit that's just gonna melt straight through the goddamn the earth.
Yeah.
Any dirt.
Yep.
I told you about the
rocks and
limestone,
what
any
the,
stone.
What the Mayans was saying, they had a certain plant and a leaf that softened their stone, and they formed it. And once they stopped, it'll reharden. And that's crazy because that's in a lot of documented books about Mayans and stonework. It's a certain plant that softens stone, and that's how they used to mold a lot of stone. And basically carving it, they would soften it with certain, man. Plant life is the truth. Everything that's on this planet, everything that's on this planet
That the Creator put here
has
has
a
a
purpose.
purpose. Yeah.
It ain't no pill that no doctor gonna punch and no press. Trust me.
That's why they don't ever cure nothing. You got to
Yeah.
take the pills forever.
That's
Cut
awesome.
yourself on the tree. It's a plant right next to it. You can rub on the cut.
Yeah. All right, guys. We'll move to the ninja news for real now, guys. What? J Moore. Let's get us started, man, with Terrance Howard again. I think we talked about him a little bit last week.
Man, hold up, though. Man, you know, Terrance Howard make you remember he from Cleveland, boy. See, what y'all don't know is Terrance Howard father's still in Cleveland. I see him periodically here and there. This dude, hey, bro. All right, so y'all know he came out talking about, you know, did he ask to meet with him about, you know, acting tips and then music and you know, he was trying to give him the googly eye like there was a Hush Kiss Mountain or something. And his assistant, you know, told him like, hey man, I think old boy Charlie, you know.
Yeah.
Oh boy. So he said, you know, cut ties.
That was it. Right.
So fine.
That's how you're supposed to do.
So, you know, people that have something to say, you know, I done heard some stuff. People sitting up there like, you know, man, Diddy done got everybody. You trying to tell me Terrance Howard the only one that he ain't get? No, he got him too. So I'm sitting up here like, damn, please, like that's how you feel. So I started doing my research, looking, and then Terrance Howard said, I'm going to answer you myself. So Terrance Howard came back out with I guess it was a live that he put out. And, you know, he was basically, you know, expressing in his intellectual way a little bit more further, you know, about the situation on how, you know, he ain't lying and this ain't no, you know, game and then how he said that, you know, he'd take it down to a duo.
That was awesome.
Down to, my man said we can bring guns,
bottles,
knives. We could bring geometry. My man said we could bring books. But one thing you're not going to do is allow me to throw dirt on my name and challenge me. And the man said, as a man, like we supposed to, I'm going to bring what I have for you to challenge me with what you have. Now, when we do that, then we see. So I brought that up because, what the Ninja News for real? Because he was, you know, but for one, I mentioned it because it was so respectful to me. Like, hey, bro, listen here. If you want to do anything, as a man, we can go this route, we can go this route, or all of the above. But what you're not going to do is that. And I wanted to bring that up. And Terrance Howard ain't never really had no, you know, a lot of people take him for arrogant, you know, from what I know of people who know him and as well as father. I've bumped into his father 2 different occasions. I don't know them personally like that, you know, but he's always been a straight up and down kind of guy.
Yeah, man, I rock with Terrance, man. Very intellectual. The guy is highly intelligent. Dude could teach me anytime. I would love to have him as a professor. Just the knowledge he has on, you know, just the universe with the linchpins. Just, man, the dude is so deep. If we can come together as a people, man, and change, like, how we think and just the aspects of what we were taught, man, we would be dangerous. Because the dude, he was breaking down math, you know, and me and J Moore went through it, like, what we was doing, like 1 times 0.
Yeah.
And, you know, it was like, how does my one phone
and I ain't got
to
no
Barker's phone. 0 phone end up being nothing?
Now, you know, and I know, because, you know, Terrance Howard was bringing up the 1 times 1, and he was going through his, you know, levels of trying to get it understood on how the math that they teach makes no sense. And I brought it up to Sparks, like, man, even as a child, it made no sense to me, the 0 multiply. Now, multiply is supposed to be the advanced addition. I'm speaking arithmetic, people.
Right.
Multiplication is the advanced addition, which means it's more.
Should be.
So, and the
What we were talking.
and multiplication theory, if this man has 9 million things and I have none, if we times them together, collectively now we have 0. I've never known of 0 to be able to take value of a number. Mathematically, arithmetic, if you look up what the value of 0 is, it says it cannot take the value of anything else because it has no value.
Right.
So who created multiplication when they used the damn number 0?
Yeah, 0 is supposed to be a placeholder.
So if anybody want to question Terrance Howard and his theories, take me and Sparks' theory of 0 multiplication.
I question everything the government told me.
Take me and
Because
Sparks
you see the
on
results
0
that
theory.
you got from
It's
that.
like, bro, what is 1 times 1?
Wow.
What's
So-
1 times 1?
Okay, Sparks, let's do it.
Right?
What
What is it?
Okay, so 1 times equals, I gotta take one away.
Yeah. So what's 1 plus 1?
Oh, okay, nice.
Right.
So if we do 1 times,
1.
we gotta take one away because it equals 1.
Yeah.
But you're supposed to be multiplying.
Here we go again with multiple. It's supposed to add. How do we take one away? That's subtraction. So, you know.
Yeah, man. We had this conversation earlier in the week.
Yeah.
They
Just
don't even let the kids write in cursive, bro. Come on.
yeah, we it's just we gotta wake up as a people, man.
So yeah, that's why I wanted to bring up Terrance out, you know, because they don't really be about, you know, and stuff like that. That man is making patents and reading books and teaching people and growing fruits and being healthy.
Yeah.
You know, he say like his cigarettes is his, you know, his drink. I don't know if he still
He had
smokes
some
weed.
bourbon on that video.
You know, but come on, man. Somebody that's, you know.
Let's move on to something more serious, man. With the ninja news, you guys hear about this kid, Carmelo Anthony, Carmelo with the K.
Yeah,
course.
yeah.
Because it came out on the day that the Carmelo with the C was going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame.
Also, is he going to Denver?
Who?
Carmelo.
If he do,
I heard he was coming out of retirement going to Denver.
Oh, for a one-day contract?
I don't think it was one day. I think he was supposed to help them for the rest of the season,
Oh.
the rest of the year.
I didn't hear anything about that,
You
bro.
got me on that.
Well, man, I just want to get y'all opinion on the Carmelo Anthony situation.
Could
'Cause
you
from-
break it down play by play?
From what I've seen, you know, Carmelo Anthony, younger black student, stabbed a younger white student.
At a track meet.
Yep, the white student's dad came out and he told the world it has nothing to do with race. They released these pictures of Carmelo Anthony, you know, with an AK and all this stuff.
Really?
Found out AK ain't real. It's a Halloween costume.
Okay.
Now, I can't remember his name. I think it's Matt something, who got stabbed. Him and his brother got pictures with M16s and AR, and they're real.
Yeah, real.
Metcalf.
Matt.
Austin. Metcalf.
Austin. From, you know, students who know the whole situation, they say that the Metcalfs brothers were bullies. You know, they bullied a lot of people in school. They actually were bullying this guy before. This is not the first incident with them meeting each other. And just a lot of stuff going on with Carmelo. People didn't know. I think his best friend had just passed. And yeah, man, I wanted to get y'all opinion on it because people are saying,
why did he have a knife?
why he have a knife? Was it self-defense?
Correct.
The student saying he had a knife because he already knew about the brothers. He was bullied by them already. They're coming in this tent telling him he don't belong in there. Y'all ain't faculty.
Because it's not racist.
Yeah, it's like y'all not faculty. Y'all not a teacher. Y'all shouldn't be telling anyone.
Ordinance of power.
Yeah, bro. So once I saw their father come out, it made me want to do a little bit more research, and he know He know his
He
sons.
knows. So he raised them.
Yep, he know his sons.
He raised them. Like I want to say, I have 3 boys, 2 girls. I've coached over 300 boys. None of my boys, and you know, they come from different areas and different homes and different upbringings. But all my children around me, I'm not finna preach, teach, allow, or order for any racial upset, because that takes it to another degree that we can't control if I allow that kind of, train of thought. I'm not saying that I don't pay no attention and I ain't went through nothing. I say what I do with the children.
Mm-hmm.
I'm grown now. I've learned. I know how to deal with things. They don't. For the father to come out and say this, that's his way of trying to clean it up, because he lost his son. So it wasn't this, because you come out on the bitter end.
He know his kids, bro.
You know your kid because you raised them.
Mm-hmm.
They in your house. They wouldn't have got this attitude just being raised in a respectful home and they figured it out on the streets. Oh no, they come from a well-off place. So it ain't just like they in the slums mad at people. So now when we move along to, him having a knife, the young
Carmelo.
the young man, I want to call him a king. The reason why the boy even had a weapon on him, if you do your research and you dive into him, was for protection.
Yeah, man.
That was it.
Has to be.
Now, me personally, I wasn't never bullied, but people try. People try you in your life, and sometimes you got to teach a lesson. I've been fond of having a knife. I got 2 on me right now, and I'm just chilling. That's just a norm for me to have a knife. I have 2. And it's natural. It's just natural. Everybody who know me know I got a knife. Why? Because of coming up where I was, and people gonna try you. Now dealing with his situation, he already in a position where he can't do nothing for real, but he know he gonna have to protect himself. That was the reason why he had a knife. That was for protection, not for gloating, not for showing, not to threaten nobody, not to nothing. Somebody jump on me and jump in my face and do this one more time, I'm gonna have to do something because you scared. When you got something on you and you timid and you being bullied, I've dealt with a lot of people being bullied, and I know, you ever heard the term, you back a rat into a wall, in the corner, you back a rat into a corner, see what happens? That rat gonna jump up out that corner and tear your ass up, because they don't want to, they scared, they don't know what else to do, and they know you're gonna get them.
What you got over there, Mr. Anderson?
Just reading through this article here. A witness says that Metcalf approached Anthony. He was sitting under the team's tent and told him he had to move. So Anthony pulls out the gun, the knife, excuse me. It says, "Touch me and see what happens." Metcalf touched Anthony, who then told Metcalf to punch him and see what happens, the witness said. Metcalf then grabbed Anthony to tell him to move again, and that's when Anthony pulled out a knife, stabbed Metcalf once in the chest, and ran away. Metcalf began grabbing his chest and telling people to get help, and he was pronounced dead shortly after, and he threw the knife in the stands, it looks like, because they didn't find the knife on him.
Scared.
He admitted to the police officers from school that he did it.
Scared.
That's too scared, bro. You can't.
Scared.
You can't live your life too scared.
You
Yeah,
didn't
all the
stand
people in
there,
public,
stand over.
You should have either got your ass whooped or put a couple of punches in.
Yeah.
And then people would have saw it, they would have separated it, and the old boy would have got in trouble if he was bullying you. You stabbing somebody only gonna send you to jail.
I'm
And
definitely
the other
not.
family gonna be mad. You see what
I'm
I'm saying?
definitely not. Happy.
That wasn't what he should have did.
I'm
flat
not
out.
happy that boy, that was his thing. I just understand why he had the knife, and I understand why the situation
I
happened.
don't know, not at a public track meet. Maybe if they was in a locker room
he
somewhere by
probably-
themselves, I would understand.
Obviously, he ain't got nobody to talk to about
Yeah,
it.
exactly. Yep. He didn't have enough
You see
counsel
what-
for that.
That's another
Yeah.
reason why I understand why he
you right.
got to that point.
You
He ain't
right.
had nobody to talk to.
Because somebody would have told him, nah, bro, don't
He
do that.
probably was
Yeah.
at home like, I got to do something.
Right.
I'm gonna take
he
a
was
knife.
getting
Right.
bullied. He was getting bullied. Man.
So
He shouldn't have been at the track meet.
What
He
happened
should have
is
stayed home if he was
bullying,
He was a track. He ran track.
bullying, privilege can get people scared, and they get weapons. People can get hurt, die.
Nah, people.
This boy's life could have been ruined.
People
you know?
commit suicide over the internet from internet.
Yeah,
bullying.
you're right,
So
you're
it's
right,
like, come on,
you're right.
man. If you actually
he needed better counsel so he could make better decisions.
If you physically getting punched and getting manhandled at school, you gonna snap eventually, man. I feel sorry for both of the family.
Right. Yeah, because I don't know what
hopefully
Carmelo's household is. Do he have a strong father, a strong mother?
Yeah.
What was the reason why he probably chose to just tuck a knife or get somebody to handle it, or
hopefully
I think
we can figure it out.
Is that this is your basic division scheme. You got people on each side to pick each side, and it's also a ritual. Carmelo Anthony with a K kills the competition. You see what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. That's what it's about.
Story, man.
Division and rituals, but hopefully, the families can heal.
And some sad ninja news, y'all. Sad ninja news on that one.
Yeah, from there, man, let's go over some sports real quick and get up out of here. The Browns that got Flacco back.
Yeah, 1 year.
Too late, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We could have started the year off. I still don't even understand why they got rid of the
How much they pay Winston? Did they pay him more?
What? I don't know. Where'd he go? He went to the Giants.
Jameson,
Like, how much did they pay him last year?
I don't even remember right offhand.
So, but that's the only reason I could figure, for them switching up when Flacco gave you so much success.
NBA, man, we got like 1-2 games left.
One on Sunday. Everybody's playing on Sunday.
Okay,
and it's basically the West breaking down the playoffs where they're gonna be at because the East is already set.
Yeah.
Because what the heck do they call it? The damn
playing.
Yeah, playing is
that's gonna be on Tuesday. Right?
Yeah, start on Tuesday.
All right, well, it's been a little time, man. I think I asked you guys with the 30s versus 40s. Who y'all got in the finals? Who y'all got now? A little time that went past. And anything changed?
I'm still Cleveland to LA.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to see once the playoffs start. I don't know who they rigging it for this year. I gotta look.
Yeah, because I'm kind of quiet because they've been talking a whole lot about Steph, of course, LeBron.
I like Cleveland.
But OKC, the top four.
OKC is gonna be the favorite.
I like LeBron, Cleveland and OKC, Steph. Or Cleveland and Golden State.
Okay.
So. Yeah, I don't know what's up with Denver, man. I don't know
if
they're
like the Cleveland, Golden State,
they might.
Cleveland, LA.
They might. Like Denver might wake up. Anything else on the playoffs you guys want to talk about?
The hockey playoffs are starting too. They got 82 games as well. I found that interesting. And the Columbus, Ohio team, they was playing great. They was
Blue
in the
Jackets.
playoffs, yeah. And then they lost like 5 or 6 games and played themselves right out the playoffs.
So
Cleveland kicked some butt the other day. The Giants, baseball team.
They on a little winning streak once they started playing at home.
At home.
They was losing on the road.
Our boys been whooping.
Cavs beat New York last night.
As they should.
Because they played the starters.
Yeah.
They didn't start off with the bench.
Because it wasn't supposed to be done.
And it's crazy though, the bench. They only lost by 2 points, bro. So I like the bench. It's looking good.
Ty Jerome went crazy.
Oh, yeah.
Anything else on the playoffs before we go?
I just don't believe Kawhi Leonard ain't hurt.
He will be.
I mean,
shut up!
If not in the playoffs, he'll be next year.
Yeah, it's still time. Hurt in the play-in, whatever, anything.
Something.
Yeah.
All right, so I do got one final honest question about sports. How far do y'all think LeBron and Steph can go in these playoffs?
I think they both can go to the finals.
Second round.
I think they both can go to the finals.
They both in the West, so that'll be it.
They can go to the conference finals and battle each other. So yeah, I mean,
I think it should go.
Depend on what Luka do and depend on how Steph do.
And it depends on Oklahoma City. If Oklahoma City ain't playing with nobody, ain't nobody gonna win.
Yep.
So, all right. I think from there, guys, we're gonna get out of here.
Yes, sir.
All right. We want to thank everybody for tuning in. We will see you guys in 7 Paths next Saturn's Day. Anything you guys want to say before we get out of here to the people?
To everybody.
Yeah, Path.
They're trying to take some of that money they was using for the U.S. aid and use it for veteran housing. So I hope that goes through.
Mm-hmm.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too.
Okay, man. From there, then, man, we love everybody. Definitely want to thank you for tuning in. Hope you have a beautiful Saturn's Day. I hope everybody's vibrating at a good frequency. Hope everybody's energy's positive. And our thing, man, we hope everybody's giving and receiving the love that we all deserve. Until next time, Black Minds out. We're going to holler at the 30-year-olds to see if we can get another 30s versus 40s.
Yeah, see if we can get
But,
one more of them.
Yeah, you know, it's a little series we want to do. It's up to them now. Them the young guys, they, you know.
Man, drop it in the comments
Yeah,
below.
y'all
man.
like the 30s versus 40s. Please let us know. But until next time, man, we out. Hope you guys enjoyed the news we have for y'all. But please go do your research on anything, any topics that we brought to y'all today. But until the next time, man, we out.
All right.
Love y'all. We out. Black Moms out.